Thank you, Kate, and welcome to a pristine evening on the shores of Lake Ontario as the 2025 trifecta of QEW rivalry matchups begins with both the black and gold and the double blue coming off their lone victories of the season to date. Second place in the East on the line as Mark Leggio boots this one away. They returned across the 30-yard line out to the 40, and right there stacked up is Kevin Brown, but already the third different running back combination being used due to injuries as Arbuckle looks down the field. This one hangs up a little bit, but it is hauled in. Deshaun Amos, the former Argonaut, will make the play, but Kevin Mittal, man, he's been targeted 21 times now on the season. He leads the CFL in completions of 30-plus yards down the field. This time he'll go behind the line of scrimmage. Jean Brissett catches it, trying to play the numbers game and get outside, cuts back on Deshaun Amos, and Jonathan Moxey finally runs him out of bounds. The fourth year at the University of Virginia, former second overall selection, as they'll go inside this time. Mittal cuts it to the out. Stavros Katsantonis giving chase and finally brings down Kevin Mittal. Early in the 2025 CFL season, week number 5 underway with the opening drive of the ball game, driving to the end zone. Touchdown Toronto. Kevin Brown. They said see ya after training camp. He says hello to the fans in the end zone with a week 5 opening drive touchdown.
And again, mixing it up a little bit. There's so often that tendency to try and pound it between the tackles when you get in these goal line situations. But here, the Argos get on the move, let Kevin Brown attack the perimeter. He finds a soft spot, first open gap, turn it north-south. Their respective crafts.
Peter spent his first 3 years at Toronto, says that's all in the past now. He is officially a Tiger Cat, is now a looping corner route, thrown way up high for Unger and taken away. It's intercepted by who else? Another former Argonaut, Deshaun Amos, crosses the 40-yard line and slides down at the 35. He tied a career high with 5 interceptions for the Argonauts last season right here. And he picks this one off as Arbuckle threw it up for grabs.
You watch how Amos has to make up a little bit of ground here as Unger gets in behind, but terrific recovery, focus on that football with the over-the-shoulder catch by the former Argonaut, Deshaun Amos.
Fantastic starting field position here, the 35-yard line for Bo Levi Mitchell after going 0 of 1 on the opening drive. Goes for a kill shot right away. Kenny Lawler up in the air, juggled, caught it, touchdown!
Well, we've talked for years about that sudden change, go into attack mode after the turnover, and it's Kenny Lawler going vertical, and this is what he does as well as anybody in the Canadian Football League, going up and getting that football on the contested catch.
John Haggerty comes out. Tiger Cats thinking about sending some heat. They'll bail out. Haggerty with a wobbling boot down to the 18-yard line of the Tiger Cats. 50-yard punt. Isaiah Wooden spun out of it. He's got some life here as he tries to stutter step and get the edge. He does get around Haggerty. Turns the corner. One more man to beat, giving chase, and a great job taking the angle, flying all the way back. 23 straight. And Leggio has been money. Make it 24 straight. What an athlete, what a player Toronto's found for themselves here as Bo Levi Mitchell took a seat on first down. Now he goes over the top to Kenny Lawler again. Up in the air, and 89's got it. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Kenny Lawler. 79 yards. For 7.
There's Kenny Lawler lined up on the outside, playing to the field. This time he and Tim White given all kinds of room to work. It's 2 receivers to the field side. We often talk about these guys as primarily the boundary side receivers where they're a little closer to the quarterback. We're wanting to give them room to get open. And Kenny Lawler takes advantage of the situation.
Bo likes a little bit of excitement. He has for a long time in the CFL. His quick strike this time, David Unger the third, ripping across the 50, and Stavros Katsantonis playing savior once again for the Tiger Cats defense, but a second down conversion goes to Unger. He's been doing that a bunch this season. It's been solid for them this year. Got a handful of contested catches, a lot of second down conversions as well. Is now driving the legs through contact, and a first down on first down with the running game. Down and out, so plenty of moving and shaking in that backfield, but Nick Arbuckle has started every game so far for the Argonauts. Quick move this time right through the middle of that Tiger Cats defense. Looks like that was Demonte Coxey making the grab and knifing his way. There's Liam Hiralahu, low line drive of a field goal, but it is on the money as usual for Liam.
Devin Veresuk being one of them.
Both making plays here early on is why not go right back to Kenny Lawler, second down conversion. You see he's at the top of your screen with a little bit of a waggle. Give it to Johnny Augustine, 15 carries last week for 49 yards, and he'll tag on 10 more to his season tally right here as play-action film because he loves to use the tight end. See if they go to that a little bit later on. Right now it's a little slip screen. Greg Bell, they're utilizing a little bit of everything. They'll try to convert on 2nd and 4 to the 15. Mitchell looks left, finds Tyler Turnowski, who turns, smells the end zone, and gets a massive whiff of touchdown.
Great to see Tyler Turnowski get this opportunity in the starting lineup and make the most of it. Slot in close, he's just running that out. And that time it's Kenny Lawler clearing things out for him, driving the corner off. Turnowski breaks out into that open space.
Beat the cow.
Oh.
Crushed him. Nick Arbuckle flips this one out. Kevin Brown getting involved here in the receiving game. First victory of the year is now Liam Hiralahu on a low snap. Hammers this one through. They've got the ball a couple of times, but really haven't moved him off the spot all that much. And Greg Bell gets a handoff inside, bounces off 2 tackles, and all of a sudden, 2nd down and 7. The down and distance that Scott Milanovic says he can really tell when Bo Levi Mitchell's on. And that qualifies. 1st down, Tim White on the other end. Smooth. Over the right palm of 19 is this time. They'll hang on to it. Now flip it out. Tim White's got some room. Stutter step. Gets back on his heels and pushed it out of bounds inside the 15-yard line there. And Isaac D'Arcangelo had to hustle his way out from middle linebacker. Blitz is on here from the Argonauts. Quick turn. And Lawler knifes his way down to the 5-yard line. Inside the 10-yard line. We'll see what they do with Bo. Looks to hand it off. Greg Bell cuts it back. Finds the end zone. And Hamilton extends their lead.
Tiger Cats staying with that ground game despite getting yard line. It was going to be someone else's major and short yardage, but Bell ultimately gets the.
Well, Toronto trying to mix things up here. They get Janarian Grant, a little reverse on the return down the sideline, get a block, and Janarian Grant, magic in 2024, and brings BMO Field to its feet. Fire the cannons! Grant's back in the end zone at 25.
It wasn't necessarily the smoothest exchange on the reverse here. To me, it looked a little telegraphed, but the Tiger Cats had been sucked in just enough to allow the speed of Janarian Grant to take over.
Physicality early on in this second half for the Tiger Cats up front as Mitchell now goes back to Lawler, looking over the top, back shoulder! Magnificent from Lawler into the end zone for his 3rd.
Looks to the out, looks to the post. Oh, there's Kenny. He's covered, but whatever. But this is, to me, is shades of Calgary Bo. Put the ball up, take a chance as soon as he sees that Kenny Lawler is even with the corner, Benji Franklin. He feels he's got him beat. He's going to take a shot.
Kelly close. We'll see when he gets back into the lineup. As Arbuckle at the controls for now. Looks over the middle. Nice little sidearm delivery. That time Tavares Daniels spinning away from 2 tacklers. Putting together a real nice drive right now as he rips this one short underneath. Caught bouncing off tacklers. Hard to bring down Kevin Mittal.
As they are pressing.
3-pack to the left of Arbuckle. He looked that direction, then he has to get off of it again. Feeding to his right into the end zone. And Demonte Coxey. What an answer.
And nice recognition here again. Arbuckle doing a nice job navigating the pocket. He gets pressure from Veresuk off the edge.
On 1st down and 10. the screen, looks over the top. Lawler down the rail, got him. And the only receiver to go over 100 yards for the Tiger Cats so far this year. Now he's doubled it up, and Johnny Augustine. Well, this time they're split. White goes to the field, Lawler to the boundary, ball looks over the middle, hanging in the air. Keandre Smith, touchdown Argonauts, or Tiger Cats, sorry. What a grab by Keandre Smith.
Right on the left edge of your screen, number 85 fights to get that inside release. And with the window closing.
But just kind of an awkward one rolling over the top. So Arbuckle moving gingerly but completes. And this is Kevin Mittal once again. 5 wide for Arbuckle, who does look like he's moving better. Now taking a shot over the top, lays it up against Bannatyne and ripping it away. DeMonte Coxey says the Argonauts refuse to go away. Stands in the gun. Pressure look from the Tiger Cats. They blitz everywhere in the gaps, and it doesn't make a difference. Wilburn can't hold on, and Leyburn is into the end zone in his first game here in 2025 with Toronto.
And Kalen Leyburn getting an opportunity to spell Kevin Brown in the backfield here.
This one hangs high in the Toronto sky, drops down. Wooden catches it at the 24, has a little breathing room, gets to the outside, has the angle. Does he have the speed to beat everybody? Liram Hairola, not going to touch him. No flags down. Shot for shot. The Ticats and Argos go back and forth.
You remember the end of the first quarter when we said the Argos do not want to turn this game into a track meet. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, that relay squad's been looking pretty good.
Well, all of a sudden there was a guy in black and gold that went to Calgary. There's a big run over the middle here, and Jean Brissett goes airborne.
They'll give up a few yards here, but they just don't want to give anything over the top.
Allowing that clock to burn.
The scout team coach and trying to deal with Adriano Belli.
Pass over the middle here, wrapped up. Kevin Brown was in to the end zone. Kalen Leyburn was as well, and this will get fired into the waiting arms of Kevin Mittal.
Yeah, Mittal's just going to sit it down. You can see that gap, throwing the ball before Verisek can widen to get to that zone. One of my favorite things about pro sports in general is just the different approaches to building teams, and you know, you have a theory about what's going to work and how pieces are going to fit together and so on, and you know, it's got to be a pretty good feeling for the Hamilton Tiger Cats